Let's bring in former New York City Police Commissioner Bernie Kerik. Bernie, let's talk about law enforcement response here. You had everybody at that press conference today, and I want to get your take on so far the investigation into all of this.
I think the first thing I want to do is I want to, give kudos to the Palm Beach Sheriff's Department, Rick Bradshaw, and their ability to get this guy. We had a witness, I understand, that took a photo of the car and the plate. Bradshaw's people got it out to his surveillance teams, his plate readers. The plate readers picked it up, got it to a helicopter. They identified the car and stopped the guy and took him into custody. The work was phenomenal, but there's a major problem, Todd. This guy made it to the outer ring of the president. He should have never made it there in the first place. And I think an investigation has to be conducted. And at this point, I don't trust the Secret Service to do that investigation. We actually, in the first assassination attempt, you had the guy responsible for the day-to-day operations of Secret Service on the day the assassination attempt was made, conducting the investigation. That shouldn't be. Eric Prince made a recommendation about an hour or so ago. The Governor DeSantis should do that investigation. I think Governor DeSantis should do the investigation in this and otherwise. And also, I think the governor's office should do an assessment, an overall assessment of the security for the president while he's in Florida. They could do it in conjunction with the Secret Service. But for somebody to make it to that outer ring, set up shop on a fence line, and wait for the president in hiding is kind of crazy. He should have never got there in the first place.
Yeah, that was the surprising part of the press conference. You had the sheriff saying, well, he was not afforded the full security detail because he's not the sitting president of the United States. But you've got the nation of Iran that's dispatched assassins. They want to take out Trump. And 2 months and 2 days ago, President Trump almost had his head blown off in Butler County, and we're not giving him more security resources?
And here's the thing, and this goes back to what Ambassador Grinnell just said. The sheriff called it out because, he rightfully so called it out. This is ludicrous for the White House today, for Harris and Biden today, not to call direct Secret Service. You provide the coverage necessary to keep Donald Trump alive. This is the second attempt in 2 months. This has never happened in the history of our country, ever. And it's going to happen again if they don't afford him the appropriate security. I think at some point, President Trump has to consider augmenting his Secret Service detail with Tier 1 operators, SOF operators, Special Operations Forces type operators, that's going to augment the U.S. Secret Service because they're either incompetent, understaffed. I don't know what their problem is and why they're not doing the job they should be doing. But somebody's got to take a serious look at it.
All right, Bernie, we're going to have to leave it there. Appreciate you, as always, coming on and giving us your analysis. Thank you.
Thank you.